Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emma and I make art videos, and for my first video of 2017 I thought I would film a new studio tour. And I say new because I moved house about 2 months ago, and so I have a new studio space and I thought I'd show you all. So let's get started. Right now I'm standing in the corner near the door, so this is where you enter. And as you walk in, this is what my studio looks like. So I think I'm going to start to the right, and over here we have some cupboards. I'll show you guys what I've got inside, but it's not too interesting. So down here I just have a lot of my old paintings. These are mainly ones that I painted when I was at uni, and a lot of them are still on their frames. You can see here I've got quite a few. I've also got quite a few rolled up, and a lot of drawings are rolled up there, and there's some more here. What I eventually want to do is get like a storage unit to put on this side, just because like all that space there is being wasted. And because I generally paint on smaller surfaces, if I get like a shelving unit, I can at least stack my paintings on there. And up the top here, I just have a bunch of like random stuff. It's just a good storage area. Then here we have my art desk. Down the side here, I just have some palettes, and then this is my art desk. This actually used to be my computer desk. I've had this desk since I was a kid, basically, and it served me well for quite a few years as a computer desk until I realized I didn't have a proper art desk, so I did swap these two desks. So originally this was my computer desk and that was my art desk for a little bit. And then I realized that it was way too small, so I needed more space, so I decided to swap them over. So down the bottom there, I just have a little filing unit thing, and on top I have this like protective drawing, writing mat thing. I've basically had this since I got the desk when I was younger. And here I just have like an MDF board, just so that I don't get paint on the desk. And I mean, I don't really mind if I get paint on the desk, but I'd rather not. So I just have those there to protect the desk. And over here I have some ornaments. I have these fake flowers and plants from IKEA. I really think they liven up the room and it looks much better, I think. Then we have this amazing glitter skull candle. It's just so me, and I love it, and I finally have taken it out of its packaging because I've had it for a while now, but I actually had to spray it with like fixative and hairspray just so that the glitter didn't fall off everywhere. I've also got a little glass house candle, and I also have this guy right here, and he's actually a pencil holder. He's got like a little hole on the top there, and I got him from a restaurant in Newtown in Sydney, Australia. I've also just got a stack of art supplies here, so it's mainly just like papers and sketchbooks and that kind of thing. I'll quickly show you the top drawer of my desk. Basically in this drawer I just keep my most used art supplies. So I've got some small sketchbooks, my coloured pencils, my little pencil case there, and my acrylic paints. So yeah, I haven't actually sorted out the other drawers yet. Like the other three just have what I used to have in there, so it's kind of just like lots of random stuff, so I'm not going to bother showing you guys that at the moment, but eventually I do want to basically make it that art supplies are in these drawers. And then we have my desk easel. Now I only just bought this the other day and I'm so happy with it. I've been wanting one for a while now. So I finally decided to get one. This wasn't too expensive. I actually got this from like a dollar store. This is the brand, if you're wondering. And even though it is a desk easel, it does fit paintings that are quite large. So basically this moves all the way to the top there. So you can have a painting that's that like high. I generally work on smaller pieces, so it doesn't really concern me, but it's good to have that option. But yeah, no, I'm so happy with this. It seems like good quality. I haven't actually used it yet, so I'm not sure, but yeah, no, I really like the style. I'll take this off to show you guys what it looks like without a painting on it. That's just the style it is. When I was at uni, I used like a similar style of easel, but obviously like a full-size one, not a desk one. And then to the left, I have this little clock. It just makes it easier to look at the time when I'm painting. Rather than trying to look on my phone where I could get paint on my phone, I can just glance over and look at this clock, so makes it a bit easier. And then over here we have my computer desk. Like I said before, I used to use my bigger desk as my computer desk, but I swapped them over, and this desk is probably a little too small for my liking, but for a computer desk, it doesn't need to be really big, so it does the job, and one day I'll probably upgrade, but at the moment, it's just fine. I use an iMac computer, and I got this one in 2010, so it's almost 7 years old. I have a Blue Yeti microphone for recording my voiceovers. I've got some memory cards there and the remote for my camera. And then some pens and stationery stuff in that glass there. I actually made the glass there in ceramics when I was at uni. Here we have my printer on a small black desk. I actually got this printer secondhand from my mum because she does a lot of printing, and this printer kept stuffing up, so she decided to upgrade, and she was like, hey, do you want this printer? And because I don't really print very often, I was like, yeah, you know, I'll see how it goes. And so far it's been pretty good. Like, sometimes the paper gets stuck, but it's easy to get out. So for me, it's not so bad because I don't use it very often, but I can see if I was going to use it all the time, it'd be really frustrating. So at the moment, it's good. It's only a black and white printer though, so maybe one day I'll upgrade to like a color printer as well. And then here we've got my tripod, my DSLR camera, and my ring light. Behind these blinds, I have a large sliding door that goes out onto the balcony. I'm not going to show you guys the balcony. But yeah, these are like full length windows, so I can't really put too much against them. But I think the camera looks okay there, and also my easel looks alright there as well. So yeah, over in this corner we have my large easel, and this easel means a lot to me because it was my grandfather's. He was an artist, but unfortunately he passed away when I was about 2 years old, so I don't really have any memories of him. But when I moved out of home, my family obviously held onto this, and then they were like, do you want his easel? And I was like, of course. And I did use it a bit, but unfortunately the style of easel isn't exactly the style that I personally like. Like I said, I like the style of my little desk easel, and this is kind of different, and I have used it and it is usable, but yeah, I don't know, like I can be quite fussy with my setup and everything, and if I'm not being productive, sometimes it's my setup and my environment rather than just my motivation. Like with my desks, when I swapped them over, I found I was so much more productive using the bigger desk just because I had more space. So yeah, I don't really use this easel anymore, and of course I don't want to get rid of it. So I was like, you know, what can I use it for? And I've decided to use it as a display easel, so I can put finished paintings on here, paintings that I'm currently working on, or maybe a painting that needs to dry. And I think it looks really good in my studio. It makes it look a bit more arty, and I think it's a really good place to just display paintings. Then we have my art trolley, and it does have wheels. However, I've got a fair bit in here, so it's quite difficult to wheel around. So I usually just leave it in the same spot. On top, I've got some paintbrushes. I've got another lamp there in case I need more light, some paper towel, and then the rest is filled with art supplies, and I'll go through them quickly with you. Up here I've got a lot of drawing supplies, so lots of pencils, charcoal. I've got some refills for my Pentel brush pen and that kind of thing. Then we've got my disposable palette, some oil paint, some tubs to put paint in. I really do need to organize this at some stage. Here we've got some more paints. There's some watercolor, some fabric paint, some containers, some cling wrap, and these are probably my most used paintbrushes. Then we have some more watercolor paints, and these are actually the ones that I used in the cheap art supply challenge. They're actually not too bad, so I have used them since then. Then I've got just a canvas pad, some pencils under there, a little watercolor palette, and those are some pastels. And then these are my peerless watercolor paints, and as you can see I've cut out like a little square there. So if I ever need to just replace the ones in my small palette, I can just cut them out of here and stick them in. Here is my kind of more crafty drawer. We've got some glitter, we've got lots of glitter actually. Then we've got some glitter paints, some washi tape, some glue, string, this tape that helps to stick things down, and we've got my transfer paper. This drawer is mainly full of oil painting supplies. I've got the oil paint in there, some paintbrushes, a rag, and the solvent in here. I haven't used this for years though, so I should really go through this and see what's still good and what isn't. Then in here we've got some clear tubs to put paint in, some fixative, some more fabric paint, some paint mediums, some more tubs. And then this drawer has kind of random stuff in it, so I've got some sandpaper, metallic pencils, watercolor paint, watercolor holder, and yeah, like I said, I really need to go through this and organize it. Then we have my bookshelf. So at the very top I have two mannequin heads with wigs on them and the headbands from Tokyo Disney. I don't really like these being up there, but I don't really have anywhere else to put them at the moment, so that's where they're gonna stay, but eventually I want to get rid of them from there. Up here we have some books. We've got Del Toro Quest and then a series of unfortunate events. I know I don't have all the books. When I was younger we lent them to friends and we never got them back, so these are the only ones we've got at the moment. I do eventually want to get the rest of them. I've got some Lush products like bath bombs and stuff. We have some True Blood back there, and then my instant camera. Then there's some more ornaments on this shelf. We've got Toad and Toadette. We've got an Ariel plushie back there, a Mario mushroom, my Star Wars Mickey ears from Disney World. I've got this little Totoro plushie. I don't think it's actually Totoro, it's just one of like the small Totoros. This ice cream lamp that I actually bought off eBay, and I got it because I kept seeing these in Japan when I went there and I just really liked them and I was like, I want to get my own. Then we've got one of my business cards with my art on it. And here we have my Ariel photo frame that I got from Tokyo Disney. I obviously still haven't put a photo in there yet, but hopefully soon I'm going to be printing off a bunch of photos from my America holiday, and I'll probably get one from our Japan holiday to put in here. Then on this shelf we have more ornaments and memorabilia. I've got a photo here of Kieran and I around the time when we started dating. I've got this little blue chest here that does actually open. Back there I've got a skull bracelet, and then this here is a candle holder, and I just think it is so gorgeous. It reminds me of like a dragon's egg and it's just so magical. Over here we have my little jewellery box from Japan. This is Studio Ghibli themed. It is from the movie Princess Mononoke, and these are the little kodamas, and they actually glow in the dark, so if I turn the light off these things will glow. And then over here we have a little figurine that I've had since I was little. It's like a wizard, a unicorn, and a castle, and I think it just kind of adds to this like little magical shelf. And then I've got my signed copy of In My Blood. I've been a huge fan of the Veronicas for a long time now, and I saw them perform live and they signed this. It was about mid 2016, and Lisa wrote "So Much Love," and then Jess wrote over here "You're So Talented," and she wrote that because I actually showed them the painting that I did, the glitter one inspired by the photo shoot from this CD cover. So I was super happy to show them that, and I actually didn't realize that she wrote that until I got home, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then behind here we have a print by Leilani Joy. This is her Fawn Girl inspired by Pan's Labyrinth, and I got this because I backed her Kickstarter a few years ago and I really like this piece, so I was super happy to help out a fellow artist and get a print in return. I really like how this particular shelf turned out because it's kind of like purples, blues, greens, and very kind of like dark magical, so I'm happy with that. And then down here I've just got a lot of books. So we've got my Art Nouveau book, the Ugly series, The Host by Stephanie Meyer. I actually really liked that book. I do have the Twilight books behind here, and I did like reading them when I was younger, but I don't really feel the need to have them on display, so I'm hiding them right now. And then down here I've got a lot of art books. So to the left we've got a lot of Imagine Effects magazines. I stopped subscribing to them just because I didn't have time to read it. I really like the magazine, but I just don't have the time, so I still have a lot to go back to if I ever want to, and I really like how they have a traditional section in their magazine now. And then we've got my textbook from uni, the massive book that says A World History of Art. And then I've just got some more art books here. And then lastly, we have this little shelf here, and this actually isn't art related. I mainly have like makeup and beauty products on here. I've got some makeup, jewelry, perfume, sunglasses, and my mirror. So I don't really have room in the bedroom for this yet, so at the moment it lives in here, but I've had this little shelf like since I was little, so I don't know. I'll probably keep it in here, and once I've moved all of the beauty stuff I can probably put art stuff on here, but at the moment it's staying like that. So yeah. Anyway, that is my studio tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Personally, I think a studio space or a workspace is super important, and it can really help with being productive. It definitely helps me. If I don't have the right space, I don't really create much, but when I have the right space, I create so much more. So sometimes it's not just motivation, it can be your workspace, and for me it definitely does affect my productivity. So hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm really happy with how my studio turned out, and it's similar to my old place, but this room is actually a bit bigger, which is awesome. Anyway, that is all from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.